That's why I'm well compensated.
Yeah, we suck ourselves.
I'll get somebody else there.
The culture is actually damn good.
This video is proudly sponsored by what was supposed to be the NHL Season Haters Guide. I wanted to write it, but videos and life got in the way and it's now too late. I'm pissed off about it too, trust me. I need to be punished for this failure. Please use the code LAZY in the comments section to find me $5,000. The maximum allowable by the NHLCBA. I'm hoping to make a sports ball in the NHL season in November. But considering how this NFL season's gone, it's probably gonna consume me whole. Let's get to it. They call it the Honolulu flu. Whenever a team loses to Detroit the preceding week, the Lions use a poison attack to drain them of HP in the next game. Sadly for the Vikings, they failed to pack any health items to compensate. In Rams' house, there was only a comedy of errors and frustrations. LA used a siphoning spell to get Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp back. The Vikings only get defensive failures. It'd also be really damn nice if the Vikings could stop taking penalties on crucial third downs. Brian Flores suddenly got cold feet against Matthew Stafford and stopped blitzing for some reason. Then what's your defense good for? Could have set up a fucking lawn chair in the pocket, he was so untouched. This oversight alone cost them the game. Sam Darnold's been a revelation, but he and Jefferson can't do every damn thing. Please don't tell me this is going to be the classic Minnesota starts out strong and falls apart to miss the playoffs act. Shit's stale. The Rams more than proved it as their zombie team overwhelms another victim. Yet even in this moment, refball takes center stage. Not only missing a blatant face mask to end the game, but saying that nobody had a clear view of it. There were several refs watching it happen, you fucking dolts! The Vikings were more than going to lose this game on their own. Christian Darrisaw had a hit taken out on him before half. They're suffering enough. Look, I don't have a problem if you fuck up, but don't play dumb and gaslight the rest of us if you do. Congrats, Zebras, the money line and the Rams covered. I'm also betting the money line on Byron Young donating a mandatory tithe to the NFL's pension fund soon. Speaking of the Honolulu flu, the benefits to the Lions are without compare. Tennessee season was on life support long before this moment. This game may have been a needed mercy killing. Here's a riddle for you curious folk. How does a team get annihilated on the stat sheet yet annihilate their opponents? Detroit has their eyes on the real prize. An easy win in the most hilarious way possible. The Titans outgained the Lions by almost 200 yards on offense, but apparently forgot that you need to stop them on special teams. Detroit had over 260 yards on returns. Returns! Jared Goff had a masterclass of a game and only threw for 85 fucking yards. 9 net passing yards in the first half, yet scoring 5 TDs. Their only counterattack was 4 passes at the goddamn 1-yard line before half. Oh, Titans, you are mega fucked. Just burn everything to the ground and start again. This team ain't it. Detroit didn't even have to try hard. They were toying with you like a bored cat does a mouse. Probably the easiest of the Lions we'll have all year. A circus with Titans being the cannon fodder. Where's the fat lady? Even she wants nothing to do with this dreck. Magic run of easy opponents is over, Bengals. There are no Deshaun Watson or DTR anchors to hold your opponent down this week. You get Philadelphia. And while Nick Sirianni does his best to gift opportunities to his adversaries, Zach Taylor equals him in the idiocy department. Or maybe it's just because the Eagles are significantly better in terms of talent. Probably that. Since he will fight and claw for every inch they can, but come the second half, the Eagles simply turn on the jets and fly. Turns out you need an elite running back and a strong O-line in this new age of football. Saquon's really damn good. The Bengals don't have anything close to him. Joe Burrow does all he can, but without a defense to stop anything, this jungle's going through deforestation. Want the secret to beating Cincy? Play them at their home. They haven't won there all year. If they lose to the Raiders next week, it's Paycor Stadium indeed. Philly reasserts themselves while dancing through a bajillion raindrops. It says something when a team is 5-2, yet no one thinks they're playing anywhere close to potential. They've won 3 straight to be fair, but this is the soft underbelly of the schedule. Take advantage of it. The Buccaneers are starting to buckle. Part of it's due to their own hastily crafted design, but a lot of things have gone awry. Baker Mayfield stands alone, and he has no receivers left to throw to. It's the Sterling Shepard show now! So he got predictably injured too. It's National Tight End Day, so welcome to the Otten Hour. There isn't much to be done since Atlanta's going to crush you under their boot like they did a few weeks ago. Kyle Pitts finally had a game worthy of his draft pedigree. As long as he narrowly escapes Deshaun Jacksoning the ball in the end zone. You might as well call Kirk Cousins a British consort because he loves sinking pirate ships. Buccaneer defense is falling to his arm one by one. If he could play them every week, the dude would make Tom Brady look like an amateur. This isn't to slight Baker Mayfield. He did everything he could to rally Tampa Bay back to life, but Atlanta was always one step ahead of their adversary. More importantly, the Falcons have tiebreaker by sweeping the season series. A division title is that much closer to reality. The Falcons look good so far. Don't fuck it up this year, boys. There is always a yin to the yang of life. Lomets takes a reprieve, a locale franchise must take its place. How nice of the New York Jets to eagerly step in to maintain balance. It's an easy opponent for a team that needs a win as bad as Woody Johnson needs a brain. New England has nothing left. We're only hoping Drake May's out with a concussion. This should have been a win before they even bothered to step foot on the field. But that's why Lol Jets is a staple in the modern NFL. A lead in the second half? Simply give up a big punt return in the third quarter, giving them perfect field position to get an easy touchdown. Clutch field goals? Not with Greg the wide left leg, you aren't. Aaron Rodgers squeezing out whatever's left of his talent is nice. It'd be even nicer if they were able to convert the two-pointer. Nothing is truly more exhilarating than a supposedly elite defense crumpling into a ball against the powerful might of Jacoby Brissett and Kayshon Boutte. He of 10 fucking catches in his NFL career. That's what drives New England to a win and hysterical laughter all the way to the locker room. The Jets fancy themselves as legitimate contenders, yet they're being teabagged by the Patriots. Aaron Rodgers handpicked a Super Bowl contender on paper, brought in all of his buddies, hastened an organizational coup, added even more of his buddies, and is all but de facto dictator. It's like the GM without the rings. Aaron's All-Stars are a shitty football team. They were better under the goddamn MILF man last year. Fucking hilarious. The comedy of the season. Rodgers doesn't have the ability to overcome it anymore. All the cancer without any of the chemo. Welcome to Locale of the Week. Aaron will blame everyone else for his inevitable descent into madness. Ugh. I was saying the AFC South was going to be a fun division to watch in Week 1? This is torture. A true contender that's somehow underachieving against a hypothetical corpse that's somehow overachieving. The final result is agony to anyone with the misfortune of watching it. The problem with Indianapolis drunkenly stumbling everywhere is that they drunkenly stumble. Houston's trying everything to hand them the game in the division. From broken coverages to endless pre-snap penalties to relentless fuck-ups on offense, the Colts should be 5-3. Yet you know damn well why they aren't. Anthony Richardson's terrible. Fans are gonna pretend that it's everything but him. Pass deflections and miscommunications are signs that it's not his fault, but it fucking is. He has 2 good passes a game and the rest are wild inaccuracies and terrible decisions. That interception before halftime, that shit gets you reamed at the high school level. Jonathan Taylor's rumbling in the second half, but with an unreliable QB, they can't do anything with the opportunities. Indy's defense is playing their heart out, and this is the reward they get? It was a game of literal inches. If a Texan doesn't scrape the jersey of a defender when he's recovering a fumble, they win. If the Colts play Joe Flacco, they win. Simple as that. Yet it doesn't happen. They say AR needs to develop, but you'd think trying to get out of bounds on a 2-minute drill with no timeouts would be common knowledge? Houston wins in spite of themselves. Again, can we just sim through the rest of the Colts season and call it a day? I'm tired of watching this group aimlessly shuffle through the year with shitty quarterback play and a battered defense. Anthony Richardson is also time. There's a place where he can rest and develop whatever skills he has, you know. The bench. Crucial return in their hour of need. Tua has been cleared from concussion protocol. The risk is great, but the reward is more than necessary. Miami finally has an offense again. No longer privy to alleged Pro Bowlers and DEI hires under center. They will finally be able to do what wasn't done in almost 2 months. Move the football forwards. 20 points in a game for the first time since Week 1. Insane to think with all these weapons, but Tua is the key to this offense. And it's finally humming again. 10-point lead with the ball in your own territory is... what the hell? The whole team suddenly blue-screened and it bricked the servers. thing about the Cardinals is that in chaos, they are thieves. They love nothing more than stealing wins away from their complacent opponents. Miami, here's where you learn that Tua returning only solved one of your problems. There are many. Mainly the fact that the Dolphins' defense has the effectiveness of a broken condom. Kyler and MHJ out here making magic happen between the white lines, and boom, you're so fucked you're 4 months pregnant by proxy. Their only way to win was to outgun them. With the Cardinals' defense stuffing them on the final drive, Miami will have to make a stop. Any kind of stop. Any. No? Then enjoy this horrible dagger from the stone of defeat. How does it feel to see Chad Ryland go from absolute shit in New England to kicking clutch field goals on repeat? About as bitter as Miami's horrible loss? The Cardinals are 500, taking names and ripping their hearts out as they still beat. Gaze at the dying men before you, for they are Dolphins. Their season in a mass grave like the team is. This one was full of twists and turns. Kind of like the average Jacksonville season if you think about it. Start off with a defensive stalemate. I know, pretty out of the ordinary for Jacksonville, but Green Bay did shut down Houston last week. It's a battle of back and forth. Jordan Love doing his best Brett Favre impression. A patented Trevor Lawrence turnover deep in their own territory. Josh Jacobs dominating the usual thing. A tight match with the Packers slowly distancing themselves from their prey. And then Jordan Love got hurt. It was a weird injury. We were thinking it was the head, and then it turns out to be the groin. Either way, he's out and Malik Willis comes in. The fortunate thing is that Willis has proven himself to be capable in this offense. A run-heavy attack emphasizing their fleet feet as Trevor Lawrence suffers another brutal turnover deep in Jacksonville territory. With a 10-point deficit, the Jags have to be finished, right? Unfortunately for us, no. The Packers' offense is finally stopped with a temporary boosting spell. Meanwhile, T-Law is finally able to strut the stuff as the one that was promised, skying the ball through the air effortlessly like it was December 2022 all over again, causing all of Wisconsin to panic and seethe at the same time. The cheeseheads are bending, and the result is a breaking point. Trevor leads Duval to a tie ball game. Only one problem: too much time on the clock. Green Bay, even under Willis, will breeze through whatever is supposed to be a defense. As Green Bay moves down the field, we only pray that this will finally be the end of the Peterson and Bulky experiment from hell.
McManus for the second straight week.
The Brandon McManus revenge game. What was it revenge for? Let's say it's because of an HOA or something. All that matters is that Green Bay escapes horrible adversity and Jacksonville escapes horrible winning. The reward is Christian Kirk out for the season. Poor Trevor. Even for his flaws, he can't fix shitty defense or coaching by himself. He's free. Famous Jameis, like Nelson Mandela before him, was a political prisoner and now he's off to lead a revolution. The apartheid against aerial assault is over. Amazing how putting a competent quarterback under center makes the Browns' offense so much better than it was under Watson, don't you think? It's almost as if every single person who watched this team was right. Deshaun was the major liability. Cleveland put up 20 points for the first time all season. It was that bad under him. And it's also this bad for the Ravens. Oh, why did I expect Baltimore to have an easy victory today? Their defense is horrible. And it's being emphasized here. Think they miss Mike McDonald? They're playing down to competition in the style of the mid-2010s Steelers. Whatever Lamar and company do to power through these auspicious conditions, the Browns equally counter with rubber banding. A surprising back-and-forth game thanks to famous Jameis unleashing the full power of his Costco QB abilities. Cleveland is the lead by 3 and the Ravens are coming up short. Justin Tucker was making 50-yard field goals again. That ended today. It's only agony as the Browns continue to stymie Baltimore at their own game. The beaming light of the Cuyahoga blinds Rashad Bateman and it blinds the Ravens as a whole. Down by 6, Baltimore realizes, oh yeah, we have an offense and this is fucking Cleveland. Lamar does his typical high-end talent spiel, barreling over anyone in his way and he brings them the lead on a silver platter. It's over, right? Do you know who this team is? It just gets fucky. Like anything resembling opportunity for the Ravens in January, it's completely botched Kyle Hamilton style. Seriously, Kyle, you dropped that? High schoolers can catch that shit. Maybe they can catch this as well.
Winston going for it all for the end zone for Tillman. He's got it!
A game sold down the river. Team defense was always supposed to be one of Baltimore's greatest strengths. This season, nowhere near it. They're on pace to give up over 400 points. You call that a Super Bowl contender? Lamar and King Henry can move worlds, but if a supposedly impenetrable curtain is made of flimsy material, it means nothing. And now it's too late. The Ravens do the same old Edgar Allan poems. Can you do something different for once? Like, play up to potential? If I have to see them choke another goddamn January again, I'm gonna scream. I've run out of things to say about Carolina. Even their red rifles are broken due to being involved in a car accident earlier in the week. Bryce Young will have his chance to prove the... I'm sorry, I can't say that with a straight face. Yeah, the Panthers got their asses beat. It's like watching Georgia play a Division III team. Completely outclassed, out-efforted, and outmaneuvered in every facet of the game. When Sean Payton is calling them an amateur outfit without any remorse and we agree wholeheartedly with it, you have a joke franchise. Despite the Broncos' flaws, everyone circled this game as a free win for them. Bo Nix put up Oregon-like stats against these scrubs, albeit with the asterisk of it being a Stanford-caliber defense. They did what they had to do. Can't complain about them. Yes, J.C. Horn, go and talk smack to Peyton for showing you no respect. You fuckers don't even respect yourselves. Denver can dance to 5-3 on your grave all they want. I've also run out of things to say about New Orleans. They were dead long before they got to LA, and they were somehow even more dead by the time this game was over. All the Chargers had to do was breathe, and their hollowed-out opponent would kill at first resistance. Hell, the Saints defense was doing everything in their power to nudge this team to their first win in over a month. Nathan Shepard tried to earn a bounty for taking out Justin Herbert with a cheap shot. It was a tight game. There was a 10% chance that chargering would occur. Then the levee breaks. Vlad McConkey raced all over that field in the second half, and just like that, Nola's season's all but over. 6 losses in a row. The Bills come due. Years of kicking the can down the road has left this team old and decrepit. All I hope is that they don't blame it on injuries again and repeat the Sisyphean boulder rolling. Knowing Loomis, he probably will. Dennis Allen's rearranging deck chairs at QB, but what's the difference between shit and a different hue of shit? Free wins for everyone in the AFC West. Denver and Liquid LA, birds of a feather. There aren't many of these gimme matchups in the NFL. Take it and run, boys. New Orleans certainly isn't. You had momentum, Seattle? That's funny, all I'm seeing is a team getting run over by a stampede. That might be putting it nicely. Consider them like a fish caught off the pier. Suffocated of air and life, skinned alive at the butcher's table and sold to tourists at a sizable markup. Buffalo will feast at the table of kings. Josh Allen and James Cook get first dibs. Everyone else will have all to their heart's content once Geno trips on his own goddamn lineman at the 1-yard line. Game can't be cardiac when the Seahawks don't have a chance. No running game, no ability for Geno to do anything, no defensive support. Outclassed on all fronts. As easy a win for the Bills as easy gets. You had your chance to stake a claim for the NFC West and it may have gone to the wayside. The 12s were thrashed in the waves of a Puget Sound storm surge. Every time I'm interested to see what the Seahawks do, they implode on themselves. An inconsistent second-tier franchise indeed. Good work on the dominating win, Buffalo. Chiefs are at the point of the game where you've already beaten the final boss numerous times, so you just go back to earlier points and beat up on vastly weaker opponents with a naked strat. Las Vegas is at the point in their season where life is bleeding away from them. They're unbelievably desperate, yet lack the strength to overcome a group AFK for stretches at a time. The worst part is that it's always within reach. It's what the Chiefs do best. Open up to reveal delicious nectars within. Then as their prey triggers a hairpin sensor, the Venus flytrap closes in on them. Kansas City's so bored they're merely letting the Raiders get them to low health. Come on, Vegas, take it. Take the win. You're at our own goal line after a terrible Mahomes pick. Come on, do it. Steal our life away. Then they throw a punch and they're dead. The game is lost. Fumbled away like Gardner Minshew being sacked on his next drive. You know when I said free wins for everyone in the AFC West? That's everyone except the Raiders. They're pretty good at being bad at this football thing. Time to think about Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders, boys. Kansas City, under the might of some magic spells and incredible bullshit, are now 7-0. As reward for endless parlor tricks, here's Josh Uche to bolster your pass rush. The rich get richer. Turns out we're getting Caleb versus Jaden after all. After an injury scare, Daniels is able to go in this suddenly exciting matchup. well, in theory it was exciting. It'd be really nice if the commies could score in the red zone. You'd think it'd be perfect considering their damn namesake, but they legitimately can't do a damn thing there. Yards upon yards upon yards, only to stall out at the worst possible times. And it would allow the Bears to snag the lead. Their offense can do anything, literally anything, to drought rivaling their first few weeks of the season. And it's not a Caleb thing this time around. It's a coaching phenomenon. They didn't pay attention to Seattle last year whatsoever. Running the ball is working really well for you. The defense is doing everything in their power to keep you in the game. Scenario time for all you football heads. You're at the 1-yard line after an impressive drive for once with a chance to take the lead. You are Shane Waldron. What do? A. Run the football with a white-hot DeAndre Swift. B. Devise a play for a Dunze or Komet. Or C. Pay tribute to the fucking fridge. They chose C. Ain't that a bitch? How the hell did Bears fans think Waldron was an upgrade? So now Chicago has to try again. Thankfully, the commies' defense is exhausted and giving up yards en masse. Consider it luck, consider it a new age, but Caleb and DeAndre willed the Bears to a touchdown and the lead. Number 1 in the draft, number 1 in this game. Well, Chicago, it might be the ugliest one I've seen in an age and a half, but it's done. All you have to do is stop a Hail Mary. Don't worry, you're not up against Aaron Rodgers.
Comes down to one last play. And it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh my goodness!
Oh my succulent Jesus. If that's not a Bears way to lose a football game, God is a cruel bastard. A 1 in a million shot that should have never happened to begin with, robbing Chicago of keeping pace with their rivals. All in a day's work for an ineptly run McCaskey franchise. Only for the Bears can Tyreek Stevenson taunt fans in the crowd when the play is fucking happening. Then be responsible for the tip that led to the touchdown in the first place. And better yet, he was the guy that was supposed to be responsible for covering Noah Brown. The arrogant are often humbled at the altar of greatness. Tyreek's only reward is deserved ridicule. Lol cow of the week. This is lol cow of the fucking month. God, how do you become so tone deaf? And I'm talking both him and Eberflus. Washington not only won, but Jayden Daniels may have won Offensive Rookie of the Year with that throw alone. God, I love this fucking league. There was a time when Dallas and San Francisco was one of the greatest rivalries in the NFL. Powerhouses locking horns with stars and fireworks exploding at every match back in the 90s. Even recently it's been like this. But this time around, the luster's worn off. Dallas is many things. Good is not one of them. Against a brutally battered and devastated 49ers team, they can do next to nothing. When there's a chance to take advantage of San Fran's mistakes, the Stars and the Cowboys can do fuck all. When the game is tight after half, the 49ers offense crushes anything resembling a resistance with unbelievable ease. When dem boys need a response, Dak reinforces his status as merely a good quarterback. Brutal interceptions pending. Stomped to about 470 yards of offense from the Niners. It's almost as if they were never injured at all. A crush of crushes, bringing to light the Cowboys' deserved and hilarious fall from grace. Kyle Shanahan was even trying his traditional late-game choke, yet even in these trying times, it was too late to make an impact. San Francisco salvages a must-win game to generate a 3-way tie for the NFC West. With Seattle and Arizona? The Cardinals are in first place? Still better than the soap opera known as Dallas. Want a rebuttal? Just ask Trayvon Diggs. Sorry, just ask D's nuts. In 2024, Jerry Boy can't see these nuts. This was something. Peak Steelers and peak dirtball at the same time. You know what that means? Greatness. I was long overdue for it this year. So much for doing any other content. Trust me, I want to do it, but the football keeps bogging me down. I'm gonna go die now. Good night, everyone.
Bring out Jennings!
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Thanks very much. Right, Joel. See you on Thursday. Right.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that? You don't know football. You can't do nothing that I do. You can't go out there and do nothing. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stop playing me, bro.
Just asking a question, Trayvon. I mean, I'm happy to have you answer the question.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took for that? That's what you got from that whole play, that's what you got from that?
I'm asking you. We can talk about it more. What were you doing then?